Airlines want you to believe that business class is only for the rich or for people who like to blow money like there's no tomorrow. But the truth is, you don't need to drop thousands to fly in style. You can actually fly business class for less than what some people are paying in economy. In this video, we're breaking down real, legit hacks for scoring premium airfare without breaking the bank. We're talking deals up to 80% off, and multiple situations where you'll pay less than the economy ticket price for a full business class experience. Let's get into it. Now, the first thing you need to learn is how to use points and miles. Using points and miles is one of the smartest ways to save serious money on flights. But most people think the only way to earn them is by flying a ton or spending big with a single airline. And while that does work, there's actually a way to stack up miles without constantly being in the air or spending beyond your means. The easiest and most effective way to do this is with travel credit cards. Specifically, opening travel cards with big welcome bonuses, responsibly, of course. You meet the minimum spending requirement by just using the card for your normal everyday expenses. Groceries, gas, bills, things you were going to pay for anyway. No random shopping sprees just to hit a number. Once you hit the bonus, you keep using the card for daily purchases to keep earning miles. Huge disclaimer though, if you know you're bad with credit cards or you've got debt you're still battling, skip this part. Seriously, fix your spending habits first, because these hacks only work if you're disciplined. We're not out here trying to get anyone into financial trouble. Now, here's something a lot of people don't realize. There's more than one way to earn points, and not all travel credit cards are built the same. Some cards are super powerful because they earn flexible points, meaning you can transfer them to a bunch of different airlines when you're ready to book. That's where the real magic happens. We're talking about cards like Chase Ultimate Rewards or American Express Membership Rewards. These give you way more control and options, compared to airline-specific cards that lock you into just one loyalty program. So, let's say you've got a solid stash of points. Now what? Well, not all redemptions are created equal. You want to turn those points into amazing flights, not waste them on bad deals. So, how exactly do you find the best redemptions, avoid rookie mistakes, and unlock those crazy business class seats without paying business class prices? Now, just like there are multiple ways to earn miles, there are also multiple ways to use them, even for the exact same flight. This is where things get really interesting. Let's talk about airline alliances. You might have heard the term before, but if you're not quite sure what it means, no worries. Airline alliances are basically global teams of airlines that partner up to help each other out. The three big ones you'll hear about most are Star Alliance, SkyTeam, and oneworld. Here's why this matters. These alliances are everything when it comes to booking flights with points and miles. Let's say you've been racking up points with a credit card that earns transferable points, like Chase Ultimate Rewards, Amex Membership Rewards, or Citi Thank You Points. These are flexible currencies, which means you're not locked into a single airline. Instead, you can choose where to transfer your points later based on which airline has the best deal or award availability. Here's the cool part. You don't always have to book directly with the airline you want to fly. For example, if you find a great flight on Lufthansa but don't have any Lufthansa miles, you can often still book that same flight using United miles because they're both in Star Alliance. So, if you've got transferable points, just move them over to United and boom, you're booking a Lufthansa flight without ever dealing with Lufthansa's program. It's like travel hacking magic. Even better? If you're flexible with your travel dates, like flying a day earlier or later, you could save tens of thousands of points, sometimes even more. A little flexibility goes a long way. So once you understand the basics, how points work, what alliances are, and how to move points around strategically, you start to see just how much power you actually have. At that point, you're not just a traveler anymore, you're playing the game. And once you get good at this game, you can fly better, smarter, and cheaper for a long, long time. For example, for just 30,000 United Airlines miles, plus around $40 in taxes and fees, you can book a business class flight from Berlin, Germany to Rome, Italy on Turkish Airlines. This route usually connects through Turkish Airlines hub in Istanbul, which means you get to make a stop at one of the best business class lounges in the world. And yes, lounge access is included in your ticket. So you're not just getting a comfy seat, you're getting the full premium experience. And get this, many of Turkish Airlines flights between Germany and Istanbul, and again from Istanbul to Italy, are on wide-body aircraft with lie-flat seats. So we're talking real business class, not just a slightly wider seat up front. Now, we've been talking a lot about miles, but here's the thing, you don't even need to already have a stash of miles to book a deal like this. You can actually buy 30,000 United miles for around $700 US. So even after adding the $40 in taxes and fees, you're looking at about $740 total for a flight that Turkish Airlines usually charges around $1,500 for in cash. That's basically half price for a lie-flat seat, lounge access, and a premium international experience. All because you used a few simple points and miles tricks. So yeah, this is what we mean when we say travel hacking is real. If you're enjoying this video, click the like and subscribe button. Also turn on post notification so you can be notified when we post new and exciting contents like this one. Now, this next one is really important because it's not just about finding the cheapest ticket, it's about understanding that there's more than one way to get to where you want to go. And here's the key. The best price for your trip might not be from your home airport or even to your final destination. Yeah, I know. Sounds weird at first, but this is actually one of the most fun parts of travel hacking once you get the hang of it. Before all these tools and apps made things easier, only the real points nerds, the ones who spent hours digging through flight charts and loyalty programs, knew how to pull this off. Enter repositioning flights. This is when you take a short, separate flight, usually cheap or booked with points, just to get to a different airport where the deal is better. Think of it like making a small detour that unlocks huge savings. So instead of flying direct from your local airport for $1,200, you might book a $100 flight to another city and then grab a business class deal from there for half the price. It's a game changer if you're flexible and don't mind a little extra movement to save big. Now, here's another secret weapon: Fifth Freedom Flights. If you haven't heard of this before, a Fifth Freedom Flight is when an airline flies between two countries that aren't its home country, usually as part of a longer journey. These flights can be hidden gems, especially for travelers in North America who want to experience top-tier airlines without flying all the way to Asia or the Middle East. For example, you can book Singapore Airlines from Frankfurt to JFK. And yes, that's Singapore Airlines, even though it's a flight between Germany and the US. You're getting one of the best business class experiences in the world. Elite service, insanely comfortable seats, and food that's an easy 10 out of 10. And the best part? These flights are often way cheaper than flying the same airline on its home turf. It's like hacking luxury. So yeah, a little flexibility and a bit of strategy can open doors to experiences you probably thought were out of reach. And this right here is why we say, once you start thinking like a travel hacker, you'll never look at flying the same way again. But like, how the heck do you even know what flight to take in the first place? Why not just book with United or Delta or whatever pops up first? And seriously, how are you supposed to keep track of where to transfer your points, which airline partners with who, and all that confusing stuff? Well, one option is to spend dozens of hours researching. But you'd need to open a lot of browser tabs, bouncing between loyalty programs, award charts, and weird Reddit threads just trying to piece together the best deal. And honestly, this is exhausting and kind of overwhelming if you're not obsessed with this stuff. But there's a tool you can use to make this easy. It's called Daily Drop Pro, and it's basically a points booking search engine, kind of like Google Flights, but instead of showing you cash prices, it shows you the best points redemptions across different airline programs. Here's how it works. You type in your destination and dates, and boom! It pulls up all your options based on real-time availability. You can filter it by the number of miles required, shortest travel time, airline, and more. But what really makes it a game changer is this. It knows all the airline alliances, all the transfer partners, and even whether there's a transfer bonus going on from your card's program. So if you find a great redemption on, say, Air Canada using Amex points, but you don't actually have Aeroplan miles yet, it'll walk you step by step through how to transfer your Amex points over and book that flight. No guessing, no spreadsheets, no chaos. Honestly, for anyone who's serious about using points to fly better for less, this kind of tool doesn't just save you time. It makes the whole thing finally make sense. And finally, this one might just be the best travel hack of them all. Sometimes, airlines make mistakes. And when they do, those mistakes can lead to insane discounts on business class flights that honestly feel too good to be true. We're talking $500 round trips on tickets that usually go for $4,000 plus. It sounds fake, but these deals do happen. They're called error fares. An error fare is exactly what it sounds like, a ticket price that's been accidentally published way lower than it was supposed to be. Usually, it's the result of some human error at the airline, maybe a miscalculation or a missing zero. And when that happens, for a short window of time, people can snag deals that feel like legal theft. Now, let's be real. Error fares aren't common, and they're totally random. Sometimes they show up for super specific routes you'd never fly. Other times, they're available on dates that don't work for your schedule. And more often than not, airlines find the mistake fast and shut it down before too many people book it. Because yeah, if I was planning to charge $5,000 for a seat and accidentally listed it for $5, I'd be scrambling to fix that too. But let's not forget, these are billion-dollar companies. If they honor the fare, and sometimes they do, you just got the deal of a lifetime. Now, here's the thing. If you're just casually searching flights on Google Flights or Expedia, the chances of you stumbling across an error fare are basically zero. These things don't last long, and they're not usually visible on standard search engines. So how do people even find them? Most of the time, someone else finds them and shares them online. And the best place to catch these deals as they happen, especially for business class error fares, is a site called Flyer Talk. Flyer Talk is one of the oldest and most active communities for frequent flyers and aviation geeks. It's basically a massive forum where people share flight deals, loyalty program tips, lounge reviews, and yes, error fares. If you're into travel hacking or just love scoring a ridiculously good deal, you need to check out their Premium Deals forum. That's where the Business Class Gold often shows up first. And pro tip, if you see an error fare posted, book it immediately. Don't wait, don't think, just lock it in. You can always cancel later if it doesn't work out. Because in the world of travel hacking, when a deal like that pops up, you don't hesitate, you click. But as with any holy grail, error fares do come with some fine print, and a few unspoken rules you really need to follow. Most importantly, If you ever manage to get your hands on an airfare, do not call the airline. Seriously, that is the fastest way to ruin the deal for everyone. Calling the airline alerts them to the mistake, and once they realize what's going on, they'll usually shut it down immediately. And just like that, the fare is gone. Not just for you, but for anyone else who might have been about to book it. Worse yet, airlines aren't always required to honor an error fare. Yep, even if you've paid for the flight, picked your seats, made hotel reservations, and told your mom you're going to Europe, they can still cancel it. Whether an airline chooses to honor an error fare often depends on a bunch of things, like local consumer protection laws, how obvious the mistake was, and sometimes just whether they're in a good mood or not. Some countries have stricter rules that make it harder for airlines to back out, while others are more lenient. It's about a 50-50 shot. So, what do you think about this list? Did we miss anything important? Let us know down in the comments section.